Some more news. The Dolphins hired Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, the former head coach of Boston College, as well. But speaking of those Dolphins, more important in the fantasy world, and this is a big one. Adam Schefter reports former Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel, who was one of the hottest offensive coordinator candidates of this cycle,
for sure,
is expected to take over the Chargers offense. And the guy next to me was pretty excited about that for his ride or die.
I mean, I think he is as good a run play caller as there is in the NFL.
No doubt.
Right? How he designs a run game is, and so you get a talent like Omarion Hampton, who was a first-round pick. Devon Achane, as much as we love him, third-round pick. So certainly scouts coming into the NFL thought much higher of Omarion Hampton, and so are they different players? Of course, Hampton doesn't have the explosiveness of Devon Achane. He doesn't have the speed, but he's a pretty good pass catcher for a guy his size. He doesn't need to come off the field. He's a good run blocker, and in theory, you get Alt and Slater back for next year.
Yeah.
I just think
that's what I
just think Omarion Hampton to the moon.
You should pick him again.
Yes, I'm gonna.
I actually like really applaud.
Yeah,
you're like, you know what?
I'm back in.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, I could go back to back. I could go back to the well.
You're buying the dip.
Yeah, I'm buying the dip. But anyway, I do think if Mike McDaniel is coaching Omarion Hampton and that offense, I'm pretty excited. I'm in.
All right, our last bit of news here. The Titans hired former 49ers DC and Jets head coach Robert Saleh. I think Titans fans are all happy. It's just not Matt Nagy, who is no longer the Chiefs offensive coordinator either. His contract expired there. I think Saleh, if Brian Daboll doesn't get the Buffalo job, Saleh will push hard for him to be his OC. I think he's got a real shot, which is great for Cam Ward. Brian Daboll, Cam Ward, that's a combination we'd all
develop Josh Allen, develop Jackson Dart.
Yeah,
yes,
makes a lot of sense.
That makes a ton of sense. What do you think of Saleh here as a this is an important move for Saleh because you only get two head. It didn't work out in New York. He went back, had another great year as a defensive coordinator. So now he's getting another shot. But if this doesn't work out, this is what happened to Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels got two shots at being a head coach, and now he's done.
Two of his mistakes: stopped calling the defensive plays, which he has said was a mistake, and he will do for Tennessee. That's great because he's great at that. The second thing is bringing in an experienced offensive coordinator. We don't have that official yet, but if he gets someone like Brian Daboll, I'll be a fan of this hire. If he goes back to the, flip a coin, is this guy going to be good? Well, then I'd be concerned.
He brings
for Cam
Nathaniel Hackett back in.
This man won 7 games in back-to-back years with Mike White, Joe Flacco, Trevor Siemians, Boyles. Good for Robert Saleh.
Yeah. We're taking our first break.
Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBCSports.com and RotoWorld.com, and I want to thank you so much for watching whatever it is you just watched, or if nothing else, being too lazy to click out of the autoplay after this video started, after whatever it is you actually wanted to watch finished. But now that you're here, I'd like to take a moment here to ask you respectfully now, okay? I'm asking you respectfully to subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. You'll get the latest Roto World fantasy news headlines, all sorts of great shows, including my own Fantasy Football Happy Hour. So go subscribe now. Again, I'm asking respectfully.